Well, this was very interesting. We got to see a lot of the outcomes on some things that we were wondering how things were actually going to go. So let's talk about it. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Queen Sugar Season 3, Episode 12. As I said, we got some answers for some questions that we were left with last week of how things were going to go as far as the court case for Ralph Angel, the vote and everything with the council and all of that. We got the answers for all of that, and I'm going to talk about that in this review. But before I even get started, speaking of what this is, I'm not going to do a whole separate video for this. Queen Sugar, Queen being the operative word. We all have actually suffered a loss this morning. The Queen of Soul has actually passed on, which is Aretha Franklin. It is a deafening blow to all of us. We have basically lost a national treasure, in my opinion. I love Aretha Franklin. Always have, always will. Yeah, she passed away this morning. So yes, heaven has actually gained another angel, baby. I know there is going to be some fierce old singing and carrying on up there today, baby. They stomping and dancing down up there, baby. But sad down on this end, honey. Yeah, sad down on this end. There's so many songs, you know what I mean? And things she's done. It's so hard to even really choose. But I'd have to say my favorite Aretha Franklin song has always been Say a Little Prayer. And that's exactly what I will actually be doing for her, saying a little prayer for Aretha. So rest in peace, Aretha. Rest in peace, Queen, honey. You ain't got to fight and argue no more, girl. You ain't got to throw no more shade and snatch your purse and your arm away. And oh, honey, Aretha gave us some great moments. Gave us some great moments. Rest in peace, Aretha Franklin, child. We love you, child. All right, you guys. Moving on to this review, Queen Sugar. Okay, so first things first. Mr. Prosper says to Charlie, you know what, Charlie, you need to go ahead and speak on our behalf for in front of the council, on behalf of the council, during the vote and the town meeting. And Charlie told him, I don't think that's a good idea, Prosper. And he's like, well, why? So she was literally forced to go ahead and expose herself and tell him why she didn't think it was a good idea. She went ahead and told him, she said, I sold the mill as leverage. I sold the Queen Sugar mill to Sam Landry. And I did that as leverage for the rates and the farmers. It was leverage to keep everything comfortable for everybody. It was for the benefit of everybody. He's looking at her all crazy and told her, well, Charlie, I don't know what you thought you did, but you're in business with the devil. I'm like, here we go. Here we go with that, kind of like being a martyr. You know what I mean? You put yourself out there for the good of the people, and the people shit on you and kick you in your ass is what happens. And this is what I was seeing. I said, oh, Charlie, here we go. Of course, but she knew, it's a dangerous job and somebody had to take it. They're not going to understand in the beginning, but it's going to be okay in the end. But yeah, they're going to kick you in the ass in the beginning until they get an understanding of what it is that you're actually doing. So that was that. Next, we actually see KJ and Micah talking. And KJ, I said, see, and this is good for you too, Micah, that you actually see how people, again, same thing with Micah. KJ literally shaded the hell out of Micah and showed him like a photograph and telling him, you know, you taking the picture instead of being in it makes you different than the rest of us. And all of this kind of carrying on. And Mike is like, what do you mean? I'm not different than you all. We're all in this together. We're fighting together. No, 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 we're not. No, we're not. Ant is on house arrest. And it's all messed up. If you were on house arrest, that house you live in, that wouldn't be all that bad for you, but it's different for Ant. I'm like, you know what? So here we go. Here we go. So at some point, you never really saw him as an equal anyway. You sitting around harboring some jealousy and things like that. So, Micah, this again is another good lesson in wanting to be around your people. This comes along with it because sometimes your people are some of the most jealous and the most hateful mothers that you will ever come in contact with. And they'll be all up in your presence, honey, and really have these little shady feelings harbored about you. That's our people. We do that. We do that. Well, I'm sure all other races do it, but we're synonymous for it. Sitting up underneath people that you're jealous of. Sitting up underneath people that you don't like things about. Sitting up underneath people and can't get enough of people that you really don't care for. A mess. A whole mess. So, again, more life lessons. Aunt Vi was sitting down with Nova and Charlie, and she noticed right away that something was off about their energy. They were talking about wedding plans and all of that stuff, and the seating charts and all of this. And Charlie was saying, I need a +1. You know, I want to be listed for a +1. Well, who's coming? I have somebody I might want to bring. And Nova had the nerve to say, oh, well, that's good, Charlie. Shut the fuck up, Nova. Just shut up. But anyway, Aunt Vi picked up. She said, what's going on with the two of you all? They come on out with it. Nova tells, I was talking to Remy, and then I ended it. This, that, the other. She's like, you ended it. You ended it. Should have never got started. Where is it that you go and you lay with your sister sloppy seconds? She's like, it wasn't like that. It didn't. Child. When I tell you Vi got Nova together, told her, you just say, right, I don't know what's going on with you. You're not the Nova that I raised. Baby, you got a lot of mess going on, and you need to get yourself together and find yourself. I said, oh, my God. And it was so funny because I seen through what, even with this, Charlie still wanted to protect Nova. She really wanted to protect Nova from Aunt Vi. She sat over there, she took, because she can't talk shit to Aunt Vi, that ain't going to happen. But she wanted to stop Vi. She did not want Vi saying those things to Nova. With all of it, at the end of the day, them three siblings have a bond like none other. They really do. She did not want Aunt Vi lighting Nova up like that. She did not like it. You can see it all over Charlie's face. I think it's amazing. Because that's how siblings are supposed to be. No matter what. Siblings, you all are all you have. You know what I mean? And it is a sad day when siblings don't like each other and don't mess with each other. It's a sad day. That's how siblings are supposed to be. It's us against the world, even when it comes down to our parents. You know what I mean? That's the way it's supposed to be. And when it actually works, it's a beautiful thing. But I was looking in Charlie's face. I was like, oh, Aunt Vi, she ain't liking that shit you saying to her sister, her baby sister, honey. She ain't caring for that shit. So that was so interesting. I was like, okay. Whew. I got chills with that. But anyway. Then next, Micah gets into it with Charlie again. Charlie, I don't know what to tell you, honey, but I'll be glad when you get around to the point of smacking the shit out of Micah. I'm here waiting for it. I'm going to need it. I'm going to need for one of these conversations for Micah to keep on bumping his gums and you to just and smack the shit out of Micah. Micah just gets beside himself. She told him, I said, stay away from those kids. Disassociate yourself at this point. You all are problems for each other. And he told her he was wanting to go visit him. And later on in the program, he did go visit him. He went and visited him. Anyway, later on, we found out that Ant got 6 months. He has 6 months that he's going to have to do. He's home on home arrest right now, house arrest right now. Um, Micah told he's going to be in like a detention center or whatever. He's not going to get to go to the junior prom and all of that stuff. And Micah told him, I'm going to be there for you no matter what. And Ant was like, cool. You know, he was cool with Micah. But that little exchange between Micah and KJ, I was like, oh, that KJ, I want to smack KJ in the face. But I was like, a mess. But he just got to where he just don't think he has to listen to Charlie at all. He's a mess. Anyway, okay, so they go down and they have the council meeting. And at first, Charlie's not saying nothing. She's just being quiet. She's just sitting there and everything's going on. And Nova doesn't sit with Charlie. She don't sit with her. She's sitting in the back, over in the back. Miss Prospering sit with Charlie. Ralph Angel sit with Charlie. And Ralph Angel's like, are you going to say something? You need to say something, Charlie, this, that, and the other. And they were going through the council. They're doing their thing and carrying on. The one guy's leading the talk. He's shoveling a boatload of bullshit around. And the council, they're doing their thing. They're listening to both arguments. Some of the farmers were saying things, but they were, they just ain't really paying them no attention. They just looking at them like these bunch of ignorant niggas. That's basically how they were looking at them. Well, at a point, Charlie went ahead and Charlie went to start speaking. And what did the community do? They did what our people always do. She got a lot of damn nerve. This, that, and the other. Or they didn't want her saying nothing. They didn't want her speaking in their behalf. And then when Charlie, she kind of looked at him and she just said, whatever, it is what it is. I'm going to take my lumps, baby, and do. When I tell you she started wearing the man out with facts. She was wearing his ass out about the jobs and all of the smoke that he was blowing. She was breaking it down and just wearing his ass out. She had him shook. She really did. And by the end of her talking, the people had started cheering and they had gotten behind her. But at first, they were delivering lumps, honey. She was standing out there all by herself. A martyr. Standing out there by herself and your own people against you. And you fight. You done gave up everything, looking crazy in these streets for these people. And they just letting you do it and looking like, So that was that. Later on, they were in the bathroom. And one of the female farmers, she looked at Charlie and she told her, thank you. Thank you. Charlie went on and let the bullshit roll off her back. I was like, okay, cool. Then Mrs. Boudreaux brings her ass in there. I don't know how to take her. I just think that I don't really trust her. And Charlie comes in and she throws another carrot out there and says, there's one councilman that's up there. It's a woman who she says she usually sides with what's right. And maybe she'll side in our favor. And we'll be okay. And Charlie told her, basically, my dad, when I was younger, used to tell us different things. And then as I've gotten older, I've found those things were just fairy tales to make our lives easier and to make us not worry. But they were just fairy tales. They weren't true. And I said, girl, she just let you know, Miss Boudreaux, that she thinks you're full of shit the way I think you're full of shit. So they go out and they go ahead and they go to do the actual vote. And of course they lost. And the councilwoman that she was talking about, that bitch sided in favor of the jail. So it was 3-4 and they were outvoted. And Mrs. Boudreaux got up and walked out like she always do. I said, I don't trust that old bitch. Something about her ain't right, but whatever. So that was that. Vi ended up in the later part of the episode, she ended up having an attack. She had a tightness in her chest and all of this, and they got her to the hospital and all of that. She ended up having to sit with the family and actually come clean and tell the family that she actually has lupus. They were livid. They were livid. That she hasn't been honest with them and all of that. And they just were like, no problem. They all jumped in to help do the pre-orders and all that. They did what they do as a family. And guess who showed up? Romero showed up. Romero ain't letting up. Romero wants Charlie, and guess what? I want Romero to have Charlie. So we like Romero with his cute self, honey. So the family that met Romero and all of that's good. He's going to go over. She's going to go over to his house for dinner. So I'm Team Romero. Everything's out there now. Vi really didn't want that out there, honey, but it's out there now, girl. You can breathe, honey. Prosper, Mr. Prosper. Now y'all know I like Mr. Prosper, but Mr. Prosper pissed me off in this episode. Last thing we see, after the town meeting and all that, Charlie comes in. Mr. Prosper sit over there. Mr. Prosper ain't speaking to her. He still got an attitude. Now you're sitting up in her house, Mr. Prosper, and you got an attitude with her. You ain't speaking to her. And then she goes up the steps and Charlie's going through. She up there crying and carrying on. Mr. Prosper got on the phone and contacted his daughter and told her things wasn't going right for your dad and it's time for you to come on down and get me. Really, Mr. fucking Prosper? Are you kidding me? I was really bothered. I was really bothered with that. I really was. Y'all say in the comments how y'all felt about that. Am I looking at this wrong? Are you kidding? I don't. Child wanted to take his cane and beat his ass with it. I was just done. Told his daughter, come and get him. Come and get him. Folks, honey, people something else. I said, oh my gosh. Anyway, last thing I'm going to talk about here. Ralph Angel, Darla, and Blue. So, there really is not a whole judgment that's been done. But Darla had Blue, and she got just a real quick glimpse of how Blue wants what Blue wants. And when it goes to, like Ralph Angel said, you ain't giving him off shiny new stuff and he ain't getting his way. He ain't no trip through the park. She's trying to help him learn how to ride the bike. Well, he really would have preferred his dad to teach him how to ride the bike. And he's telling her to hold on, and she's trying to push him forward, and she's not holding on, and he fell. And when he fell, he quit. He was like, fuck you, bitch. I told you to hold on. I told you don't let go, so I'll tell you to let go. Because that's what Pops would have did, Got mad, baby, and walked off. I said, hitting you with some of that old spoiled shit. So she didn't know what to do. So the next thing you see the two of them there together, and Ralph Angel's going to do it. Ralph Angel's like, come on, let's go and do this. So he said, well, can y'all do it together? So they're like, okay, no problem. Got him together. He told Ralph Angel what he wanted. Don't let go until I tell you to let go. Ralph Angel hooked him up, go ahead, and everything was fine. And next thing you know, Blue's ass is riding like he ready to go do a damn marathon, okay? Because you don't know what the fuck you doing, Darla. Because you ain't been raising him. You don't really know him, bitch. And he told you don't let go. And you going to let go and try to do what you think you know. You don't know nothing, whore. Anyway, Ralph Angel knew what to do because that's his baby. He got him together and his ass was riding like a goddamn, like he was in the Olympics. You girl, get out of here. Anyway, so then she's sitting down there and he going to hug her. I said, don't you fucking hug her. And they turn around and he's like, well, she said, well, how about we do 50-50 custody? He's like, oh, okay, that'll be nice. Well, he was saying he want to take him to Disneyland and Disney World and all this. Well, that'll be nice. Where else you want to take him? Fuck you, Darla, bitch. The hell with you. I said, Ralph Angel be making up with her. I got so bothered by that, but I'm glad she's seeing it ain't as easy as what you think it is, clown. But anyway, so that actually was it that went down with that. It was a good episode though. But all in all, isn't it funny how your own people will turn on you? Mr. Prosper, you got some shit with you. Y'all tell me if I read it wrong, if I seen it wrong or looked at it wrong. But Mr. Prosper made me very, very upset. Very upset. I wanted to beat his old ass. Anyway, all right, you guys, I'll talk to y'all next week.